Welcome back to the 700 Club. We're going to jump right in with your email questions. And remember, this is the time where you have the opportunity to ask Pat whatever you want to ask him.
Everything. Everything.
Everything.
All right.
Let's start with
All
Erica.
right.
Erica writes in and she says, a friend of mine has struggled with infertility for several years. Her doctor suggested that she become implanted with a donor egg so she could become pregnant. Do you see any problem with a Christian couple trying to conceive this way?
The story is told that the eminent playwright George Bernard Shaw was sitting next to a gorgeous movie starlet, and she said, Mr. Shaw, why don't we have a baby? Think what would happen if he has my looks and your brains. And Shaw thought for a minute and said, but what would happen if he has my looks and your brains? So in any event,
that's horrible.
You never know. There's some of it, this implantation. Now, what they do is they take a number of eggs from a donor woman, and it costs somewhere in the neighborhood of $10,000. It costs them to get the procedures about $30,000, and they take sperm from a male donor and they put them together, and then they let them grow in a petri dish, and then they implant the embryo into the, putative mother, and hopefully she has a baby. That's nice, but, what about all those inherited characteristics from your mother and your father and your grandfather and great-grandfather? There are a lot of things like that. You don't get that when you have a donor. And you never can tell what's going to come out. I don't know if family curses attend, this implanted egg, whether suddenly a child's going to come up and he's going to wind up being a criminal. You say, where did that criminal tendency come from? Well, it was implanted. I don't think we know enough about it yet, but some people are very happy to have babies that way. The other problem is you get more embryos than you were planning on, so they freeze them. And the big thing about stem cell research is, do you take those embryos in and use them for science and essentially kill them, or do you just throw them away, or do you give them to somebody? I mean, there's some ethical problems. Okay.
I'm glad you answered it. I'm going to go to the next question. I have nothing to say on that one because I don't know
glad.
what to say.
All right, what's next?
All right, Arnie writes in and says, my blood pressure has been more difficult to control over the past couple of months than it was all last summer. Can the cold weather outside actually influence my blood pressure?
It really does, Andre.
Does it really?
And what happens is the cold, it causes your blood vessels to contract, which, of course, sends up your blood pressure. And this is why a number of elderly people, they have strokes, they have heart attacks and so forth during cold weather.
I didn't know that.
And so you have to be very careful of people who are, sensitive to this area or have high blood pressure, because it'll spike it up some more.
That's good to know.
Yes, sir.
I'm learning so much today.
I'm so glad. This is a program of knowledge.
All right, Jessica writes in and says, is there any truth to the old adage, an apple a day keeps the doctor away?
Absolutely. Apples are wonderful for you. They have material that will cut down on cholesterol. It will increase the HDL, which is the good cholesterol. It will help ward off cancers, and plus the fact it's got fiber and it's got nutrition and it doesn't have a lot of calories, and so it's a good sweet. So I mean, apples are fantastic, but man, they're expensive.
Apples are not that expensive.
I asked my wife to get me. I said, would you get me some?
Granny Smith, delicious.
No, some Red
Macintosh?
Delicious apples. Yeah. So she got 3 of them, 3 apples. And I said,
are you on a budget, Pat?
Well, we're going to have to be. I said, how much do those things cost? She said they cost about, what did she say?
$1.49 a pound.
Well, they were more than that. They were close to $2 a pound.
Well, where was she shopping?
Expensive store.
Listen, I don't know about Dee Dee, but I go to Walmart. And Walmart, you can get a good bunch of apples for like a couple dollars.
Well, she got 3 for $6 or $7. They were wonderful apples. Great, big, delicious. I like those apples that come from the state of Washington. They are incredible. I don't know if you've ever seen those great big ones.
No, I've never traveled to Washington for apples.
Well, you don't have to travel. They'll send them to you.
You know what my favorite little treat is? And I know it's Skinny Wednesday. I love caramel apples, but I love making them myself.
Now you've gone and ruined it all. All right, what's next?
All right. Cindy writes in and she says, I normally cook with olive oil, but it gives an unpleasant flavor to certain baked goods. Is canola oil a healthier choice, or should I just stick with regular vegetable oil for baking?
Some people will freak out when you hear about canola oil. It's made out of rapeseed, and some people just think it's terrible for you, but the experts say, yeah, it's very good. I tell you, I have learned in my little cooking spree that something that is just delicious is coconut oil. It has all kinds of good, healthy things, and it tastes wonderful, coconut oil.
I can't get over the fact that you cook. You don't cook. Do you cook?
I cook, man. I am a good cook.
What do you cook?
Anything.
I know you cook oatmeal, but what else do you cook?
Well, oatmeal is very difficult.
You put oatmeal in boiling water and
right.
stir on occasion.
Or you let the water and the oatmeal boil together, and it's better. All right. No, I can cook a lot of stuff.
Okay, what's your specialty? Real quick, go ahead and tell me.
Well, you know, we've been here. My age-defying pancakes were just marvelous, but I can cook a lot of stuff. I used to cook fried chicken. It was delicious.
Really? Look at you, Pat, learning something new.
And then the Colonel took it away from me.
Blame the Colonel.
It's his fault. All right. Well, so much for that. But thanks for your questions. God bless you.